goes. It is 12/10, December the 10th, 2024, Tuesday. Free Jack, Kari Thagud, Big Rich. Your team is not mathematically out at 5-8, but that was a huge blow to their playoff chances. Last night, the loss 27-20 loss to the Cincinnati Bungles. Kind of a meaningless game other than Cowboys trying to keep their slim playoff hopes alive, and they died last night. We are 13 days away from the annual Wire Club Trivia Sport NFL Room Christmas party, John's birthday party. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be our first party since the NFL Week 1 season opener back in early September. Last night's feature presentation for Christmasfest, chosen by John D., was a movie from 2000 called The Perfect Tenant. It's an annual film of mine for Christmasfest. Even though it's not like the biggest, not really a Christmas movie, but it does have to do with the main character's father takes his own life on Christmas Eve, and then it concludes with a mock Christmas Eve. I think this one's free on YouTube still. Pretty sure it is. If not, I've uploaded a bunch of clips, and I've got the VHS. The Perfect Tenant, I think it was filmed 1999, but it came out in 2000. Direct to video or made for TV. I'm not sure which one. It didn't have a theatrical release. If you watch it, you'll see it's clearly the case. Directed by Doug Campbell, who directed some similar like thrillers. I don't think I've seen any of his other movies, but I see he did a movie called Stalked by My Doctor in 2015 with Eric Roberts. Are you kidding me? And it's Stalked by My Doctor Part 2, and they're free on YouTube. I gotta check those out. Those are really good. Good lifetime quality type cheese kind of movies. This one has Perfect Tenant has Maxwell Caulfield, who was in Grease 2, and he was in some other things. He was in that Empire Records from, I think, 1998. It was like an HBO movie. He plays Daniel Sumner in this. It has Linda Pearl. She's kind of the headliner, really. She's kind of like the main character in this. Linda Pearl plays Jessica. She was probably best known for Happy Days, being one of Fonzie's girlfriend. I don't know if this was before or after Jump the Shark, but people know her from that, recognize her from that. She was in Visiting Hours, 1982. Michael Ironside, William Shatner, Lee Grant. I don't think I remember seeing her in this. In Visiting Hours. She was also Matlock's daughter on the... I think I remember her in that. Matlock's daughter in Matlock. Married briefly to Desi Arnaz Jr. I didn't know that. In early 80s. Early 1980s. Alright, we also have Stacey Hogue is the daughter of Linda Pearl. She's really annoying in this. Her boyfriend is played by Chris Burkett. Not a good actor. This guy has the perfect, like, late 90s, early 2000s, late teen, early 20s guy, kind of trying to be kind of cool look with the frosted, colored, like, hair, and he's kind of slim, and he wears kind of baggy, like, jeans and the little sweater. Gosh, he's the quintessential early 2000s, like, kind of trying to be a bad guy, but he's like really not. Earl Holliman plays our father, Arthur. Rest in peace, Earl Holliman. Just died a couple of weeks ago. best known as did a lot of films. He was in, I did an RIP video on Earl Holliman, Forbidden Planet, 1956, and he was in the first Twilight Zone episode. Earl Holliman has a funny death in this where he gets killed by Maxwell Caulfield's character. It's really, really funny. This is the scene where he's talking to Dewey. He's talking to him like I would talk to Dewey about watching NFL on Prime, on Amazon Prime. There's nothing but a finger-licking, two-faced sad little horse she is. Alright, so Earl Holliman dies in this. Todd McKee plays the boyfriend of Linda Pearl. Todd McKee, he's kind of like a model type guy, but there's a funny scene kind of at the beginning where she's kind of sitting on his lap a little bit in their house, and he's telling her about his plans to go on like a out of town trip with her, and he seems all excited about it, and then she says she needs more time. He's a little space, not ready for this, and he of course has to get you can see the deflating look on his face where he has to go get a huge pack of big ice pack for his groin. He's the typical. That's why I think this is a Lifetime movie, because it had to be on Lifetime at some point, because they always portray men as either evil and or like simpy, because this guy comes crawling back multiple times after her father's death. He's trying to get things restarted again. Then at the very end, when she opens the restaurant, Jessica's Fine Cuisine, hilarious restaurant in her house with little tiny tables. It's a tiny little place with like 5 waiters, like professional waiters with like bow ties walking around. It's great. So he comes simping back to her, and she doesn't. Looks like it's implied that she's taking it back at the end. That's Todd McKee, and you have Tracy Nelson in this as the kind of ex-wacko girlfriend of Maxwell Caulfield. Tracy Nelson, she was in Square Pegs. She was in, as a child, she was in Ours, Mine, and Yours movie comedy. Probably best known as a nun in the Father Dowling Mysteries. She was in that with Tom Bosley. Daughter of Rick Nelson and Kristen Harmon. She was born in 1963, so I always found a little curious that was when the Aussie show was on. I kind of always wonder if they ever considered putting her on the show, because they had always that like Dave's real life wife, Rick's real life wife, but they never included, added probably a smart move, adding a child. Maybe they just didn't want to jump the shark, even though that was too late. But maybe they didn't want to force a toddler into acting. Yeah, Tracy was never on the Aussie show. But she was married too, and I just found this out today. She was married to William R. Moses, speaking of Lifetime, from 1987 to 1997. One of my favorite a classic, like the Godfather of Lifetime movies. Guys, awesome. William R. Moses, I didn't realize they were married. Alright. So, yeah, Tracy Nelson, she does really good as the psycho who at one time was in a funny farm, a nut house with Psychiatric Institute with Maxwell Caulfield. And so, yeah. This is, I feel like it's a Lifetime movie also because of the title, The Perfect Assistant. There's a couple other, The Perfect Neighbor. Yeah, I think it's called The Perfect Neighbor. It's with William R. Moses, a great movie. And these are all like thriller type movies. The Perfect Assistant was really good. This one, the main girl was played by Josie Davis. She was on some 80s sitcom. Josie Davis. I love that movie. And The Perfect Marriage, which has James Wilder and then a woman, I forget her name, but she's in a lot of stuff. And William Mimosas as well in that. So yeah, the Perfect Tenant 2000 has some funny moments. The bank scene is really funny. Everything about the bank scene is just hilarious. Branch manager. That's the best part. Oh, so you want to take that out? $500,000 in cash? Well, don't get that every day. I'll need to see your signature. It's a really funny movie. And yeah, it does have a little Christmas in it. So Maxwell Caulfield relishes the role he's in, really hams it up. So check this one out if you haven't already. Fun thriller with a lot of cheesy scenes. It's great when that boyfriend dies, played by Christopher Birkin. He's annoying. So, all right, Christmasfest continues. Tonight we're going to go into Week 15, the NFL, on Thursday. So be ready for that, boys. All right, here we go. Christmasfest continues. 12:10.